Well, it's been 2.5 years since I did a Glover Park update, and a lot has happened. So I think we're actually due for an update here. In the last 2.5 years, I don't know, we had a little something called COVID, and it really changed a lot in Glover Park. Some for the better, some for the worse. There's definitely some surprises here. We had businesses that closed. We have new businesses that have arrived, and we have some new surprises as far as real estate goes and schools. So let's dive in. I am Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mama, and today we're going to talk about Glover Park, one of the most sought after neighborhoods in DC, also happens to be my neighborhood. I'm a little bit biased. You're going to have to take these things with a grain of salt because it is coming from me, and I love living in Glover Park. I think it's great. However, we have some very exciting news. Whole Foods is open again. Yay! So the Whole Foods was closed for several years, and the reason was because there was a rat infestation. And then there were all kinds of things happening legally. There were court cases. Whole Foods was still being made to pay the rent, even though the store could not operate because there were rats in there, delicious rats, and they were eating all of the food. Anyway, there are neighbors here who followed this saga of Whole Foods for years. It was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. Is Whole Foods coming back? And not only did Whole Foods come back, but they are back and better than ever. The Whole Foods in Glover Park in Washington, D.C. is the first store in the Whole Foods chain where you can go in, scan your palm, pick up a bunch of groceries, scan your palm on the way out, and it knows what you bought. And it will just charge your Amazon account. Isn't this amazing? It's amazing. Anyway, you can also, if you don't want to scan your palm, you can scan your app, because if you go into your Amazon app, there is a grocery scan code and you can just scan that and pop right in. So everything in there is contactless, which is kind of amazing. And if you don't want to go that route, I don't know. I don't know how it works either. I don't get it. I don't think anybody really has any interest in getting my palm print. Whatever. You still have Trader Joe's, you have Giant, you have Safeway, so you definitely still have your other grocery store options within Glover Park. They're all still here. Trader Joe's is thriving. It's always busy. It's one of the top performing Trader Joe's in the chain. So we're rocking and rolling when it comes to grocery stores here in Glover Park. What didn't do as well, though, here are the restaurants. So we had several closures. Casolari closed, which was our Italian restaurant in the Glover Park Hotel. Our Curry's, which was our pizza place, they also closed. We also had a food hall called Ghost Line. They then changed their name to Social Beast. Man, they took the brunt of it. They occupied the old town hall space, and they tried and tried and tried. They really had some good food. The food hall concept was awesome because you could pick up different kinds of food. They had fried chicken, then you could get cupcakes, you could get Indian food, you could get pizza, and it was a neat little place, and it did not survive COVID, unfortunately. The space there is still empty, so you have to stay tuned on that. I don't know what's gonna come in there. There's a big for lease sign on it though. Sweet Greens, Bread and Soda, Wingo's, Chipotle, Slate Wine Bar, they're all here. Dumplings and Beyond, still here. Old Europe is still here. These places are all still going. In late 2019, our friends at Surfside, they moved up to a different location probably just after I closed filming the last video, which was October timeframe. They moved up, Surfside moved up to Tenleytown to a much, much bigger space on Wisconsin Avenue. Still walkable. I'll walk up there. The kids will not walk up there because it's about 2 miles from Glover Park. But in the space where Surfside once was is now a restaurant called Mario's Trattoria. They've got some Italian food and pizza if you want to pop in there for something wonderful. And the Arcuri space is also going to be occupied by an Italian restaurant. I popped by there. They are still in the mode of getting things ready. It looks like they're moving some tables around and things in there, and obviously have to get their permits and their liquor licenses and all that good stuff. They have a menu out front, a tentative menu that also is showing pizza on it as well. And then Casolari was replaced by the Glover Park Grill, which also has this wonderful, amazing, and fabulous outdoor cocktail deck and bar. So you can check that out as well. All right, so real estate went off the rails in Glover Park. It's sort of like if you didn't get in, it's really hard to get in now. Back when I did the video a couple years ago, I was reporting prices of 800 to 900,000 on the low end and low 1 millions on the upper end. All of that shifted. The days of 6-figure prices for houses in Glover Park are basically gone. The row houses here are all going to start in the low 1 millions, and the most recent sale closed that kind of blew everyone's mind at 1.8 and change. And so that was definitely a gorgeous, down to the studs renovation, but that is kind of indicative of sort of where the market is headed in Glover Park. I think that the original builders of these houses sold them for $7,500. We actually had found the old advertisement in a newspaper, and if they could only see what's happening to their houses now, it's kind of unbelievable. All right, now the next exciting change that's happened in the last 2.5 years, and this is on the more recent end, is with schools. So Wilson High School in Upper Northwest is pretty overcrowded, and as are most of the schools in the city. So there's been an announcement that there is going to be a new high school in the Palisades area. So MacArthur High School is going to kind of break up the feeder schools that go to Wilson and push some of the students out of Wilson down to MacArthur High School. The details are actually being currently hammered out as we speak. There's petitions going around because things are happening. There are meetings happening. So this is kind of like a stay tuned. It's too soon to call what's going to happen here, but here's what we do know. There's going to be a new elementary school called Foxhall Elementary. That's going to be at the old lab school location at 1550 Foxhall Road. So there's a couple different scenarios of what might happen with Foxhall Elementary. Either they're going to make it a pre-K through 5th grade, or they're going to make it pre-K through 2nd grade and then take 3rd through 5th graders and call that like an upper elementary school and split Stoddard and Key Elementary out of there and bring them to that Foxhall. So this is obviously causing a huge uproar in Glover Park. The community is very, very tight. To be able to walk your kid to school from pre-K or kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, because the houses are all so close together and the neighborhood school is such a center and community-oriented part of our neighborhood here, this is definitely causing parents a lot of like nerve-wracking, mind-blowing, we have to start petition kind of behavior. And I've got to say, this is where DC public schools, I don't understand. I swear, like the stupid decisions that they make are actually enraging. I don't know why you would split a school from pre-K to 2nd grade and then 3rd through 5th, knowing that there's a middle school that's 6th through 8th, and parents could have kids in each of these grade groupings and have 3 separate drop-offs in the morning. Like, I mean, are we all just supposed to be in our cars forever? I don't understand. When we used to be able to walk to school. Anyway, this is what's happening with the schools. So the side note here is that there's more information to come. The Foxhall is going to be the location for the lab school, and then MacArthur High School is going to be at 4530 MacArthur Boulevard, and that is actually at the old location of the Georgetown Day lower and middle school that used to be there. So DC bought that from Georgetown Day for an exorbitant 40-something millions of dollars, and bought that, and now they're going to work on renovation plans and getting that ready, and they're planning on opening that within like a year to 2. So this is all happening allegedly quickly, but I know that, you know, and it's like an act of Congress to get some of this stuff done. So they're planning for a fall of 2023 opening. We just don't know if that will actually happen. All right, so other news that's happening here. Georgetown Pediatrics, which has one location in Tenleytown at the 4200 building, 4200 Wisconsin. They have another location at Georgetown Hospital. We interchangeably go to either one in Glover Park, depending on where your doctor is and which direction they might be. The Georgetown Hospital location is actually going to be moving to 2115 Wisconsin Avenue, which is awesome. It's right next to where Trader Joe's is. You'll be able to walk from Glover Park to the doctor's office. You will never, ever need your car if you live in Glover Park. It's going to be amazing. All right, other news. So Georgetown Library is still here. Guy Mason Rec Center is still going. Dog Park is still here. Another change is that KinderCare came to the neighborhood, which is really cool. So Glover Park actually officially has a daycare, which is awesome. So this building had been empty for quite some time, and now at the corner of Wisconsin and Calvert, they have put KinderCare there, which is great. having a daycare in the neighborhood. You also still have the Guy Mason Co-op. No babies at the Guy Mason Co-op. It's 2 years old and older, and it is a co-op, which means, sorry, parentals, you have to do 1 day at the co-op watching the kiddos. So Stoddard is still a joint DPR, Department of Public Recs facility, which means they use the gym and they use the field for other activities. And so life is back. That field turned into a place for everybody who lived in all the apartments and condos in Glover Park who didn't have outdoor space to come put a blanket and just lay outside and get some fresh air during COVID when they weren't leaving their house and they were working from home. And the games are back. Softball's back, soccer's back, all kinds of games are back on this field. So it's great to see that things have kind of like come back, to life. We do have a neighbor here, the Russian embassy. Being that we are witnessing their invasion of Ukraine at this point in time in history, the Russian embassy appears to be empty, and they've all gotten out of Dodge. No surprise there. There's lots of protesting that's going on outside. The other side note here is that the Russian students actually many were in Stoddard Elementary School. Probably a third of the elementary school potentially was Russian students. And so here's something interesting that you're gonna enjoy. At the holiday break between when 2021 turned into 2022 and our kids all went back to school, they all came home and said, a third of our class is no longer there anymore. The Russian kids were all gone. And we said, what are you talking about? And when we started to dig further that first week of January, we were told by the school that the Russian embassy had told all of the families, you need to withdraw your students. That's how we knew something was gonna happen. And so that, my friends, is a news break that you'll get in Glover Park that you will never see in the media. You'll know it weeks before anybody else knows it. So we all knew that something was about to happen. There you go. You can't beat living in Glover Park. I'm Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mom, and my contact info is coming next. If you want to chat about Glover Park or any other DC neighborhood in the DMV, give me a call.